Hi Collective, it's Shana, and I'm back with dream entry number 4. Okay, this dream was really a while ago, okay? And I did not write it down, right? But I would like to share it, okay? This was back when I was approximately 32 or 33, which would have been 2002 or 2003. My daughter was 8 or 9, okay? My daughter's relevant here because she was in the bed asleep, right? And then I laid down in the bed to go to sleep, right? And I'm not sure what time it was, but I laid on the bed, and shortly thereafter, I could sense the room was like really dark. It was like a lot of like strong electrical charge in the room, like static electricity, okay? I don't know how I knew that. I could feel it like in the hair on my skin. It was like all the hair was standing up, right? I was going through a state of paralysis, which was, I did that often growing up, like through my 20s and 30s and just throughout my life, right? I could sense I was afraid, right? Because it was so dark. Like that card, Triple Darkness, that I have, right? It was like triple darkness. And I knew there was a presence in the room besides me. And that's what the fear was coming from. And then I felt something jump up on the bed, right? So I was terrified, but I couldn't move. So I used my mind's eye, my third eye, to see what it was. And what I saw was a spider, right? But it was like a robot, a mechanical spider. And it had a rectangular shape with these long mechanical spider legs, right? And they were making like this eerie like mechanical sound of metal hitting against each other, clashing against each other, right? And at this point in my life, I was like studying Islam. So I said to myself, Bismillah, right? And the spider disappeared. But then I felt like this pulling at my lower right abdomen. And I knew it was my ovary, right? I saw my right ovary. It was really white. And I just saw it in my eye, in my mind's eye. But there was this pulling and yanking at my lower right abdomen, which, you know, told me it was my right ovary. So at that point, I'm thinking like, okay, they trying to get my eggs, right? And it was nothing I could do. There was nothing I could do but endure it, right? And it just became so intense. It wasn't like a sharp pain or anything. It was just like this pulling, this intense pulling and gnawing, right? At my lower right abdomen. And I could feel myself sweating. I couldn't move or anything. But I knew, like, you know, I had to do something in order to save myself, right? So it was at that point that something said, look to your left. So I turned to my left, right? And there was a so-called alien standing there, right? A gray. But he wasn't gray. He was like a tan color. And it was something about his eyes. He had like, and I knew it was a male, he had these mischievous look in his eyes. And he reminded me of a guy I was talking to at that time, like the eyes for some reason. Yeah, but I felt like I was related to this person, okay? And he reached out his hand to me, but it was folded in a fist. And I took that to mean that he didn't want to scare me, with, the difference in his hands for mine's, right? And it was then that I reached out my left hand to place my hand over his. And I woke up, right? And at that initial moment when I woke up, I saw this fog in the room. And there was this intense, strong electricity. And instantly it was like like you heard the wire shortaging, right? And all the smoke cleared and all the haze and the charge was gone. All right, collective, that was it. If you like the video, like the video.